What do you want to listen to? What's your favorite artist?
My favorite artist ever?
Yeah.
But like, what kind of vibe?
Whatever.
I really like Michael Franti, and I like Tim McMorris.
Yes,
Tim McMorris has got like a lot of really like happy, upbeat stuff, and so does Michael Franti. But my favorite song by Michael Franti is "Hey World," which is like really like touching. There's like this one part of the song where I always get chills.
Hey World.
Mm-hmm.
I think I found it.
Did you? Good. Yep, that's it.
Tell me why grass was greener years ago. I swear it used to grow here, but no more here. Tell me why on this hill all the birds they used to come to fly here.
I think I know this song.
Do you? I've never met anybody that knows this song.
Sounds familiar though.
Tell me why I need to know.
He's an amazing person too. He almost died right before, like right when his first big hit came out. Like he was like in the hospital, almost died, and he does a lot of like giving back.
I don't think it's. I think it's the strings. I think it's a similar string.
Yeah, probably.
Don't give up on me, I won't give up on you. Just believe in me like I believe in you. Tell me why on the corner all the kids that used to come to run here load their guns here. And tell me why it's okay to kill in the name of the gods we pray. Tell me who said it's okay to die in the name of the lies we say. Tell me why there's child soldiers. Tell me why they close the borders. Tell me how to fight disease. Tell me now, won't you please? The only thing I want to do is to be in the arms of someone who believes in me like I believed in you. And I say, hey world, what you say? Just stick around for another day. Hey world, what you say? Just stick around for another day. Hey world, what you say?
Let's still sip slow drinks from the event. Like the group chat's still popping.
Still going crazy.
Yeah.
I won't give up and try. I try. Don't give up on me. And I cry. I cry. Just believe in me like I believe. Hey world, what you say? Hey world, what you say? Hey world, what you say? Just go around for another day. Hey
Did you see it? No?
Nope.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
looking. Not looking. It's hard. Ain't looking.
So, tell me what made you want to start therapy without a degree? Like, what inspired you to start therapy without a degree?
Well, you know, it's funny because you're actually going to find out soon.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to see in the episode.
Soon.
We actually tell the story there, but basically I met someone in an Uber ride.
Okay.
Yes, I was doing
Okay.
Uber. I was doing Uber for 3 years, straight full time. And in the very kind of beginning, I met someone, and he was like, he asked me for like some advice and some perspective on a situation.
Okay.
And it was really interesting because it was in that moment I was like the only person he probably could have went to and asked that. And like I think to get like a real honest perspective.
Yeah.
You know, like he could have been seeing a therapist or something, but I don't think he would have got the raw like what I gave him. And not saying I gave him anything. I gave him, you know, multiple different like what I would have thought.
Okay.
I just don't think he would have got that perspective from a therapist.
Yeah, they often hold their opinions in.
Yeah, or I think they would have went maybe very deep. I didn't go very deep. You know, I just gave just my real perspective. And a lot of times I think people in life just sometimes just need that, you know? Just a different perspective on things.
Yeah, absolutely.
From someone that they don't know. They've never, like, this dude never met me before a day in his life.
Right.
Like, he was just in the car. He knew, you know, there was no judgment. I was never going to see this guy again. So he just asked me for just like I said, that advice, but he asked me for it. Mm-hmm. And I just gave it to him, and then I realized, like, how many people, you know, just from me going through so much shit in my own life, you realize, you know, we're all going through shit every single day, all of us. You know, and that's why I like how, you know, to check on your strong friend things. You just never know. Like, you never know what people are battling. I always try to say, you know, you want to be careful how you speak to people because you just never know.
Right.
And with him in that situation, that was just another reminder that, like, you know, you just don't know, like, why his situation was what it was, and like just not to just judge people. And
sorry, I'm trying to turn like the
yeah,
because it's popping off. Sorry.
No.
Okay, so you never know what somebody's going through.
You never know, and sometimes your regular ass perspective can help someone. You know, like without it, and that's why it's therapy without a degree, because it was the birth of that. It was the birth of just things that are just unconventional, you know, that like can help people out. Because at the end of the day, like, he felt more relieved after that. I could just tell. You know, I don't know if I'm like, you know, you call it an empath or what it is. He felt a little more relieved, even if it wasn't excessively. Okay. He felt a little more relieved at the end of the day. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, you know how many people are probably like that? And like now with a podcast, we could do that. You know, or like with a brand, with therapy without a degree, we could do that. You know, like having art therapy and having music therapy and these different events and talking about these things on the podcast, like real raw conversations that you would have with your friends. Right. You know, because like, you know, it is like if you're dating somebody and like, let's just say your friends don't like who you're dating. They're biased.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to tell you, like, if they say he ain't shit. Yeah. And then you say something, they're going to probably agree with you automatically. But then in the back of your head, you're kind of going to know, like, yo, they don't think he ain't shit. So are they really giving me, you know, the real, true, authentic, you know, like, advice and perspective? So when it's from someone that you never even met before, and they tell you what it is, you kind of look at it a little differently. Yeah. You know, so like with a podcast, like, you know, you could listen to it and hear about the topic we're talking about. And like, we kind of dig so deep into it that like, you can maybe get your answer to whatever it was that you had on your mind from just from regular, real people. Like sometimes, you know, I don't want no clinical therapist telling me how they see things. I want maybe, you know, my neighbor telling me, you know, or someone that I relate to, you know? Okay. So. Yeah. That's pretty much how it birthed.
And what like gave you that insight and that compassion to like, you know, like, do you think there's anything in your life that kind of, you know how I say like experience breeds compassion? Yeah. Yeah. So like, is there anything that you think like made you more understanding of other people?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was you know, growing up, you know, I grew up with a mom that was you know, addicted to heroin, and you know, she started when I was like 8 years old, and she was still a really good mom. You know, she had her things going on, and she had rough times, but she was still a really good mom. Yeah. And people would judge, you know, family members, you know, like we even talked about, I was like, you know, their family members wouldn't even let other family members by my house because, you know, you're living with a drug addict and all this stuff. And, and it was like, I started to see how people would judge and not help. Right. You know, it was a lot of judging, and it wasn't even, okay, maybe if it wasn't even judging, it was just their perspective. Just, they didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't get it.
Right.
And, you know, so being around a lot of that and just being around my own, you know, just, and also me too, you know, like, I got bullied when I was like middle school as a kid. And it's like people, they don't know you. Like when you know you're someone and then they treat you like someone else, you're like, yo, they don't know. Like they don't, you know, so like I guess with all that, you start building that compassion. You know, you start building that because like you see, but I don't know, because at the same time, a lot of people, it steers people the other way.
Right.
You know? So.
Okay. So there's one down.
One down, not gonna look.
Not gonna look. Gonna try not to look.
I'm gonna
go. You're gonna rest it somewhere safe? Okay.
Alright, we're good.
Alright. Surprise number 1 down, surprise number 2 coming up.
Perfect.
Yeah. So hey guys, I'm Sarah, aka the Painted Lady at Henna Harmony 82 on Instagram. I do temporary Jaguar tattoos. They come out looking like a real tattoo. And it's a great way for people to test drive tattoos. So I really love to help people like curate their next tattoo. And sometimes people have an idea of what they want, and sometimes people just have something meaningful that they bring to me and they say that they want it commemorated in some kind of way, but they don't know how. And then, you know, in that consultation, I get to know that person, I get to know what's meaningful to them, and then I'm able to help them find a tattoo that they love and they want forever. Yeah. And Joe and I are doing it a little bit different today because I've gotten to know him a little bit, and I know it's meaningful to him, so I'm going to surprise him with 2 pieces, and then we're gonna see Joe's reaction together.
I'm with it. I like it. I like it. Not looking.
Put your heart on your sleeve.
Hey, literally, right?
Literally.
Nah, but
you're gonna love it.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like, yo, get this tatted for real.
This is gonna be. I think this is gonna be.
This is the.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
For some reason, this is the hand that's like.
Gives you funny business.
I don't know what it is. Too much typing.
Oh yeah, be careful, man. Be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely too much typing. Like I sit on this table like this all the time, just typing away. Like tonight, I'll be listening to music for the rest of the night, just trying to finish up the episodes.
Right.
What about you though? For you with this, doing what you do, like when did you realize it was like kind of like almost like a therapy for you?
I mean, I guess the first, because I really didn't feel like, you know, I'm a teacher and I went into teaching because I wanted to help people. And so doing art felt rather frivolous to me in the beginning, you know, like I was making people happy. It's fun to make people happy and all. But my first like really meaningful client that I had that made me go like, wow, like I think I touched that person's life was, this woman came in and her hand was really badly scarred from a burn accident, and she wanted me to do a mandala over it, you know, so that she could feel like her hand was beautiful again, you know. And she told me that I was the first person to touch her hand in a year because she was too embarrassed to have anybody else touch it. And she had even learned how to do her own acrylic nails at home. And that's when I was like, wow, okay, so this can be like something really meaningful for people. And
that's crazy, because you're right, because if people get scars and stuff like that with their hands.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who have scars they want covered up, and then, you know, how they got the scar and all that sometimes. But yeah, I knew I wanted another job. I didn't think that I'd really be like, you know, I just wanted something where I was drawing and just relaxing and talking to people. I knew I just wanted to draw on people and relax while we chat. Like I knew I wanted to do that. Because like we were watching Vic Blends earlier, I do think that like So, I guess like the next moments where I was realizing, like I knew I wanted to draw people and all that, and I was on the boardwalk, and, you know, a lot of it's just for shits and giggles, like, you know, teenagers getting dumb stuff. But the therapeutic ones would be like the moms and dads who are on vacation. I know it sounds kind of like first world problems, like, oh, you're on vacation, like, so tough. But like when you go on vacation with kids, like it's really not about you. It's about the kids having fun, and it can be draining, and you don't have one moment to breathe to yourself. And, you know, they're driving you crazy, and sometimes you just need a breather. Yeah. And so I'd have these moms and dads come to me while, you know, the other parent took the kids for them, and they would just be like, like they felt they were getting pampered. They were able to just, you know, relax a little bit. Relieved. Yeah. So.
And you felt that.
Yeah, I felt that, like, you know, that I think I have like a way with people, and I've often been told that people feel like they can talk to me about anything. It's like I'm just not like a very judgmental person. I'm an understanding person, and I feel like all of my ex-boyfriends like emotional support ex-girlfriend or something, because they still call me about their like relationship problems.
They still call you for it, right? Yeah. Therapy without a degree.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
I'm gonna start certifying people.
I know. I do love to be of service, though. Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of fulfillment out of helping people. I know some people find it draining, and in my moments I do too, when like I've got my own stuff I need to handle. But when I'm able to, I do like to be there for people.
I think there's a balance, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a firm believer that we are meant to go through those things so we can help so many other people.
Same, yeah.
Because for you, let's just say you go through one thing, you know how many people you could help in the world, you know, like based off of that one thing, you know, like the barber we were watching, that dude, like he could have, you never know what princess, that was just her knocking on the table.
That was not the door, that was me. Silly.
She was silly though. But like that one, like whatever he went through or whatever life happened for him to shift his mindset.
Yeah.
Now is changing millions of people's lives.
Right.
Because of the things he's doing and you know, helping people with. So it's like we're meant to do that. You know, I believe that that's some of our destinies, to be able to help others, you know, because like the world, the universe, and God, or whoever you want to say, he can only do so much, you know. He you know, it's faith. He's not physically there, you know, to do that. So I feel like we, you know, we're blessed with life, and we're blessed with all these things, that it's like the little we should be able to do for the world is that, you know.
I full-heartedly believe that like we're on earth to receive God's love and spread God's love. And yeah, man, like I think that's a common, when you said, you know, that experience, that we go through it so that we can be there for somebody else while they're going through it. Like that's a common sentiment around like with people who have been through some really rough stuff that's very hard to accept the like why God, why about, you know what I mean? And the only sense and the only positive you can find from it is that you can be you know, you can help somebody else get through it. It's like, I know I was assaulted when I was 13, and I was institutionalized afterwards, and he got out of jail before I got out of the hospital. And I was, you know, I was mad at the world, and I was really upset, but I was in there for a long time, and while I was there, the only sense I could really make of it was that, you know, it was going to be, there was going to be some purpose for it later on in my life. Like that I would need that experience later for whatever, you know, godforsaken reason that you would need that experience for. But, you know, we have our experience, strength, and hope, and we can spread that experience, strength, and hope, just touching like people's lives one by one, you know. Watching Vic Blends made me realize that like I can be a teacher and help people, but I can also be a tattoo artist and help people. Like, 100%. It's not a selfish, frivolous thing for me to do.
Yeah, because you never know. You may be helping people more because maybe you're able to talk to them a little differently doing this, and you're able to be a little more transparent.
Yeah, and you know, hard. Like, I gotta be very like I gotta.
With teacher, you have to you have to tiptoe around things, and you know, no one ever wants to do that. Like I've had to even think of myself, like there's certain positions and certain things that's like, you know, I wouldn't want to do that because I would have to tiptoe around. Like I like to be my authentic self. And,
I know it's so hard because I like to be my authentic self, and I can't just bust out with like, hi, my name is Sarah, and I'm an addict, and I'm in recovery, and I've got this whole back history to students and parents and everything else. Now, to schools, there are actually some schools who appreciate that you have life experience to share with the kids and that you can relate to them on a level where other people may not. So in lieu of like, remember how DARE used to go into schools or whatever? Yeah. So now they have something called AIR. And instead of a cop coming and bringing in a bunch of stuff, like samples of stuff that they're telling you not to do, it's called Alumni in Recovery. And then go into the school and they talk about, you know, being in recovery, and they tell the kids what it's like and whatnot. And like one of my best friends in, one of my good friends who was also going to college to be a teacher like myself, she was a speaker for them, and I was really hesitant to be a speaker for them because I didn't want to like tarnish my reputation, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I almost thought it was like a little bit insane that she was willing to go up there in front of like, you know, principals that she might be working for when she graduates and say, hi, you know, my name is blank and I used to prostitute for crack. Like that's really intense, you know? Yeah. And it's funny because they actually came up to her afterwards and they were like, you know what? We really appreciate that you have like some real world experience shit, and you're gonna have more compassion and understanding for your children. You're not your children, but you know, we feel like they're our kids, and you're gonna
part of the time.
Like they get to keep them for a lifetime, and we get to have them for 1 year, and I appreciate it.
You know, too. It's like we are living in a world that. We're getting there, you know, we're getting there. It's like the whole...
With mental health, you mean?
Well, or... just in general with people understanding, like the fact that they were able to accept her and bring her in and see that, you know, we're getting...
Yeah, they wanted her to come work and everything.
You know what it is?
That's crazy, right?
I think our generation now that we're starting to have power, the world is slowly shifting. You know, we didn't have power for a long time. Yeah. You know, we didn't have power. We were younger, and there was still a lot of people above us that had things in power, right? Now, you know, we're getting power, and even people a little above us is starting to see the changes, starting to see that maybe the way they were going about things wasn't really correct. Right. And how, you know, we're trying to shift things. Yeah. So the world's changing, you know, and back in the day, we would have never thought that. We would have never, ever thought that that's something that person would be accepted. Yeah. But now things are just opening up a little bit more in that aspect, you know? Absolutely. Of course, with the mental health stuff, too, but I think it's a little combination of both. Yeah. It's a combination of people, like, kind of like the whole not needing a degree and, like, experience now mattering the most. It's kind of that, you know what I mean? Like, now people know, like, experience is number one. Yeah. You know, it's the same thing. That's, you know, that's that experience, you know? Yeah. And people are getting, I think people are becoming more compassionate, you know? Little by little. A little bit. You know? You know, we still definitely have a lot more work to do, but I think some people are. Yeah. So that's when it comes down to that. You know, people are starting to see... People are seeing that their brothers are going through it, that their family is going through it. You know, things are not as hidden as they used to be. Right. You know, when we were younger, things were very hidden. Yeah. You know,
it was
like...
very hush-hush.
It was like... if you're someone in your life was going through something, you thought it was like the end of the world. You thought that like, you know, they were like one of the only people in the area that was going through it. Like, you thought it was such a big, huge deal.
Yeah.
When, yes, it is.
Yeah, it still is. But we're not alone.
Exactly. There's still other people going through the same thing. So people, I think, now are becoming more compassionate because, again, exposure.
Right.
They're realizing that, you know, it's not just a one person. We don't need to hush about it.
Yeah.
We could talk about it. There's, you know, outlets, there's programs, there's things, and there's other people going through it. It's kind of sad, but
yeah,
people a lot of times have to wait until they see something else happening before they could feel okay with it.
Right.
You know? Like, people need to see someone wearing a t-shirt before they'll go wear the t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So now it's like other people are seeing, you know, teachers, and they're seeing people go through things, and they're seeing like whatever the friend was doing, they probably know someone that was down that lane.
Yeah.
You know, they probably have a cousin or a friend who, and in those moments now, hopefully they're saying, you know what, I would want someone to give my friend a chance.
Yeah, true.
You know, where back in the day, we didn't have much of that because it was all hidden.
Right.
So we didn't know sometimes about people that were going through that.
It's still it's a very conservative profession, you know?
Yeah.
It always has been, just to chip away at what was there. Like, teachers used to not be allowed to marry or, you know, wear this or wear that, or be seen riding in a carriage with a man or anything. Like, they had to be very virtuous, and that has stuck. And I mean, and of course, you know, we're influencing the minds of the next generation. We're influencing the minds of people's children. And so they want the people influencing these minds to be good people, right? We want our kids to be shaped by good people.
Exactly.
But, yeah, who defines who's a good
Quote,
person
unquote,
and a bad person, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's just bullshit, someone else's standards that are, you know, there's no such thing as like perfect. There's no such thing as a lot of those words that we use, you know?
Right.
Like you exactly said, like, what is that? You know, what is that definition? Oh, we're good. It was just 20% battery. Watching this phone like a hawk. But I'm not looking down.
Okay. Good.
We're good. I'm not looking.
Yeah, not too much longer.
What's up?
I said I don't think it's too much longer.
You know, we're good. That's definitely dope.
You just know it's dope. You have faith. You trust me.
Nah, just this whole the process.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just this whole process, and I definitely trust you.
Okay, thanks.
Whatever. That's what I said. I was like, I don't, you know, you don't gotta tell me nothing. You don't gotta say nothing. Just do it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I've done blind ones on people so many times, but usually it's the like
I don't think you're gonna.
It's the rice. All right, we're live again.
Think so.
Okay, finishing up like the last little touches.
Last little bits.
Yep.
And then I'll put all this together.
And then we'll do the reveal.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta get you on a podcast too when we get back. We're gonna be back recording in January.
Yeah.
We took a little break.
Yeah. For the holidays, or just to catch up on work or something?
Just it was like a mental health break for me.
Okay.
And then it was just also like a regroup of like, you know, team building type of thing.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, of just like having everyone be like, all right, you know, like, you know, you kind of do things for a few years and you're like, you almost kind of just want to check, like, all right, do we still want to do this? You just got to check, you know what I mean? Like, because people don't do those check-ins. Like, it kind of is like a mental health check-in, kind of like a team check-in. Like, like, all right, guys, like, we still want to do this. We still cool. Because it's like, you know, it's tough too, like, when you're doing a brand and a business, and especially a business that is like close to being a nonprofit, but it's not.
Right.
You know, like, that brand is close to being a nonprofit.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's definitely not, but it's pretty close. So it gets tough when it comes to that because,
you still have to pay people.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
It's not even that, it's just people's time, you know what I mean? Like, there's only
course.
so much that people could do You know, like, even the premiere, like that premiere, like for the show, that those 3 episodes, like everyone did that off the strength.
Yeah.
You know, Zayn didn't get paid for it. No one got paid. You know, like the makeup artist, no one got paid. It was all off the strength. The only thing that was paid was food, hotels, travel, and that was still like $6,000.
Damn.
For the whole thing. Props, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It was still a very expensive production.
Absolutely.
And, you know, but we're all in it together, and we all know we're gonna, you know, grow it and promote it, and you know, we all have, you know, got a lot from it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it still is not easy, especially when you're doing that, you're doing brand, you're doing things when it's not profit, or it's not a business that you're like trying to profit from,
right?
Because you're trying to be like a helpful thing for the community, and you're not looking for profit. Like, there's some businesses
I feel you.
where you're looking for profit, and there's other ones you're not. Like, if it comes, it comes.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, you just gotta all like be like, all right, we're good. We're able to keep moving with this. So that's kind of what this was, you know.
Good deal.
Just to make sure we're all like, okay, you know what, we're good. We got time for this.
Yeah. So you guys are gonna be back rolling after the premiere.
Yeah. January we'll be back, and we'll be back to it.
So you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good?
Yeah. Are y'all ready to see Joe's reaction?
Let's do it. Oh, you want to flip it, right?
Yeah. We gotta flip it now.
You take it.
Okay.
Whatever we gotta do.
Okay.
All right. I can't. So this is.
So
you guys see it. I don't see it yet. All right, I'm gonna turn in 3, 2, 1. Oh wow. You were ready. I was not.
So have you heard of the black balloons for overdose awareness?
I haven't, but I feel like I've seen it before.
Mm-hmm. Do you
I get it. I clearly get it.
And then that's you and Jayleen.
Yeah.
Because you were telling me about how you guys would walk her to school in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah, and you just lit up, and that's like...
Because I clearly knew that's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Jay would take our little walks to school.
Yeah.
Yep. For years, and then you were ready, I was not. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true.
Yeah. On here, let me show the camera just real quick.
Because people don't understand that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they didn't want to be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, they're not suffering anymore. Oh my gosh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I've had a lot of it in my life too.
Yeah. So we know how it is, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
these are awesome. This is perfect. How the fuck you did this so damn like like to the hair and everything?
I know, that's why I had to mash different ones up, because I had the concept in my head. I was like, okay, I want like, you know, the two of you walking in a silhouette from behind.
Yeah.
But like I wanted it to look like you guys, so I had to like mash different ones together.
Nah, yeah, that is so fire.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is gonna go over in 2 weeks. I'm gonna have to redo it. I'm gonna have to get her back. You know, touch it up.
So what would you say about me blind curating for you?
Nah, that was amazing, because the fact that you caught on to that, you know what I'm saying, that we were walking, and those were actually really special moments for us too. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially in the beginning years, that was a lot of bonding. Like, you know, because
tell them about Jayleen and everything. Tell them.
Well, for anyone that doesn't know, Jayleen is my stepdaughter that I've raised since she was 4 years old. She's 13 now. She's big, she's grown, and she lives a little far away from me. But and a relationship is, the whole situation is just a situation, as everyone knows. Life is, and family and kids and step parents.
But she's still your light, and your love, your heart. That's your heart.
She's my daughter.
Yeah.
Me, you know, and it feels weird even saying those like key words and those whatever you call them, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was you know, when we first. It was in my life, you know, we walk her to pre-K every day. in the rain, in the snow, whatever. Like, eventually it got to a point where there was an older lady. She didn't even really speak no English. She was a Hispanic lady, and she would just see me and Jay, and she'd be like, get in the car.
Oh,
She'd just get in the car, and she'd take us.
Yeah.
But it was cool because it was a lot of really bonding moments, and she was so little. And I felt so bad, too, in those moments. Like, and a lot of those moments were, like, moments that kind of helped me get to where I go now, where I'm trying to go. Because it was like, nah, like at that time I didn't have a car. And I was like, nah, we got to get a car. We got to do better. We got to have, like, nah, we just got to just be there.
Yeah.
And that was this was the birth of a really, really solid relationship. So that's kind of crazy too. Because sometimes too, I never even really thought about that. I didn't really think that that's really how
that bonding began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
You were just doing your job.
Yeah, just
as a
doing
parent,
it. Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Doing my thing, you know what I mean? That I really enjoyed doing. And it was a very bondful moment, you know? But sometimes you don't realize, like, those little things really do matter, you know? Like, just holding their hand like that, going, their little hand, helping them with the jacket. Like, she was so little, she could barely even put the jacket on.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, those things birth, like, amazing moments. And you don't realize, like I always say, everything happens for a reason.
Right.
And, like, you'll just never know.
Yeah.
And this is just so fucking true. Like I said, this is emotional.
I don't know how much you want to talk about that one. That's why I had asked you, like, ahead of time. You know, I don't know how comfortable you are sharing that stuff.
No, I definitely, I share all the time on the pod, you know, like, this was, you know, my mom passed away when I was 24 in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
She, you know, she overdosed. She struggled with a heroin addiction from the time I was 8 years old, and she was on and off, you know. But she was still kind of what we were talking about before. She was still an amazing mom,
right?
You know, at the same time, she was functional. She was doing her thing. She just had her struggles, and this is the perfect wording for it, that she was ready, because she didn't want to be here. You know, she didn't want to be here. She was done. She was done. She was like in her late 40s. She was like early 40s when she started, and then, you know, by the time she passed, she was 52, and she was so exhausted with life. Like, she was so exhausted with the adversity, and she lost 3 brothers, all from the same shit.
Yeah.
Now, one in 92, one in 96, one in 98.
Jesus.
Then her mom got Alzheimer's disease, and she lost her stepfather, and she lost her little sister. She had so much loss that,
and so much suffering.
Yeah, because with that, you
her
know,
not to suffer anymore, right?
Exactly. So it was like, and then, you know, she had other stuff. You know, she had an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
You know, a divorce that went, you know, crazy sour. You know, and then life and just depression and just so much shit. She was so exhausted, and it was crazy because for a while I was the only thing that she was like hanging on to.
Right.
And she would tell me straight up. And like, we were very close, and we were very real. And she was like, "Oh, you're the only reason." And then I got to a point where, like, she almost kind of like, she was ready to go because she was confident in me. Yeah. And it was even hard having those conversations because she would talk to me. She's like, "Yo, Joe, you're good." She's like, you don't need me. Yeah. She was like, you know, but, you know, you still always need them.
You always need your mom.
You always need them.
Yeah.
But she was like, you know, you don't need me. You're mature, you're strong, all those different things. But it's tough because you still always need them.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course.
But she was ready. You know, she was ready because you sometimes people go through all that pain, and if you don't know how to cipher through that pain, and you don't know how to just fight through it, or if you don't know that it happened for a reason, like, I didn't see shit that way back then. You know what I mean? And she didn't see it that way. Yeah. You know? So you're just, like, so exhausted, you know, when you're alone in those things. Like, when you go through those things, too, like, you don't have the support. You know what I mean? Like, because you're going one way, and then a lot of the times you're causing other people to go away from you. Right. So it's like a double-edged fucking sword, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, she was at a point, and I think a lot of people get to this point in life that it's like, even if you see so much potential in them, They're just not going the other way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just not going the other way, and they were ready.
Yeah.
You know?
What about the second balloon?
Yeah. You know? Well, one of my best friends, you know, just passed away, Walter, and, you know, same situation with him. You know? It's the same thing. It's the same
like
thing.
just like last week you were at the
literally just last week.
Yeah.
And which is still don't even feel real. You
Right.
know? But I've had so many of those, and it's usually the same fucking story.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, you know, and especially people that deal with those type of things and just...
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if I should put more than 2 on there. I know we all know more than 2, right?
Yeah, 1,000%.
But the thing is that it could be 10 of them.
Yeah.
And it's still...
You're right.
Yeah.
But even at that, though, those were definitely the 2 most prominent ones in my life. That was...
You can always add on to it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that if you do have somebody else that I haven't heard about since I've known you, you know what I mean? But it does mean something to you, then there's always room to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was definitely more, but these were the 2 most that, you know, were definitely...
thought. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, definitely the most that were ready, and it's always the same story.
So the heartwarming, soft, positive part of your heart and soul, right?
Yeah.
And then the
100%
tear-jerking
they're all what they are. You know what I mean? There's nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And just like we were talking about before, everything happens for a reason. So I try not to... I've shifted a lot of the way I see things, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be okay.
Right.
If I didn't shift the way I see things...
Yeah, you gotta have some acceptance and the positives, but otherwise you just wallow
there's like I was at to a point like in my own life where there was times where I was ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I was ready so many times.
Yeah.
I was so ready just to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So many times. But until I shifted, my entire fucking everything shifted.
Right.
The way I saw life shifted.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't shift my perspective.
Right.
Your perspective, like seeing this like, you know, a quarter full or seeing it, you know, 3/4 empty.
Yeah.
Will change your whole fucking life.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And the second I started doing that, it was really crazy, because the fact that she was ready and the fact that my mom ain't here no more, yo, that shit shifted so many things. You know what I'm saying?
How old were you when that happened?
I was 24, but
24?
I was 8 years old when she started. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew right away, so I was dealing with that shit as a 9, 10-year-old, 11-year-old.
And that's how you got close with Walt, right?
Well, no, Walt actually, we were whole different. He actually was the group of friends that was the outlet.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That like you needed some more support than, you know, a parent that's in active addiction.
Exactly.
And you found that in Walt, right?
Yeah, 1,000%. Walter and our group of friends, like, they were the ones, because really what I wrote, like when I put that post up, it was so true. Like, you know, you're going to school and you're dealing with bullshit. Then you're going home and you're dealing with bullshit. It gets to a point where you don't know where the fuck you want to go as a kid. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you want to do, you know? And then it's like, okay, we had some cool people growing up with friends and stuff, but like, that love, you know, where you go a place and you feel that love and you feel that acceptance and all that stuff. That stuff matters, you know?
Yeah.
And Walter was one of those people that, Walter and his brother as well, too, like our group of people. It wasn't even just him, that's the crazy part, but he was definitely the glue. It was like, they were the ones that like, oh, everything was forgotten about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there you could laugh and smile and joys and just like, that was, you know, was very rare.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of sounds silly. It sounds like
these are important moments for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they sound like you would think that they would happen. They happen often.
Yeah.
Life in people. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes, you know, you're very miserable, or sometimes you're not happy. So those moments when you find those people that make you feel good,
yeah,
you got to hold on to that. And Walter was definitely that one of those very, very few people in my life who was always just like, always brought joy.
Yeah.
You know?
So I did good?
You did amazing.
Okay, good.
You did amazing. Let's fucking go, yo.
Yeah.
This is super dope.
I'm glad you like it.